Hi guys, welcome to episode 2 of Surf Simply's strength training. Today what we're going to go through are some exercises that are going to help make your pop-up a little bit easier. We're going to work on building strength in our upper body, in our lower body, in our core, also some mobility work as we want to have our pop-up be fluid. And we're going to be aware of our body as we're doing these movements. When we pop up, we want to be aware of where our weight is going because we ideally want to keep our weight forward throughout our pop-up, right? So the first movement that we're going to go through is a high plank to a lunge, okay? Now, in the first initial exercise, we're going to keep our toes pointed 12 o'clock, okay? And I'll go ahead and show you what that means. As we go ahead and evolve and get more comfortable with this exercise, we'll start rotating that foot through. So, to start, you are going to come into your high plank position. We are going to keep that neck nice and neutral. Do not have it coming up. So, I have my arms engaged, I have my legs engaged, my core is engaged. I'm then going to bring my right foot through towards my right hand. So from this position, I now am in a bit of a lunge, right? At this point, I want to keep my toes nice and pointed straight forward. I'm going to release my hands and come on up from here, holding that lunge position. We're then going to drop back down, bringing those hands to the ground. I'm going to send that right leg back, hold that plank position, and then send my left foot forward. Again, it's going to be a little bit closer to my left hand. I'm going to come up, core engaged, flat back, holding that lunge position. Again, notice 90 degrees, not bringing the knee over my toes. And I'm going to hold this position here, come back down. You can hold it for about a 2 count, and then sending my leg back. So let's see that again. We're going to bring that right foot forward, boom, coming up, 1, 2, I'm going to send my weight back down, leg comes back, left leg comes through, coming back up, core engaged, 1, 2, almost lost my balance there, coming back down, good. Now, as you get more and more comfortable with this workout, this exercise, what you can start to do is facilitate it so it's more similar to what you're doing with your pop-up. What that means is as you send your foot through, and you're coming up, you are going to rotate that foot and then hold that position there. This leg's going to stay wide. All of your weight's going to be in that front leg. As you come back down, you're going to rotate that leg around, sending it back. Then we're going to swap legs so that left foot comes on through. Again, holding that back leg where it is, core is nice and engaged. As I come up, I'm going to rotate that foot, holding that lunge position, weights in that front leg, and then I'm going to come on back down, sending that leg back, okay? So as you want to change up that exercise, you can start to bring that foot rotation into it. That's going to be more similar to that functional stance position that you want to be in. Second exercise we're going to work on. Again, we're bringing cardio into this. We're bringing some mobility. We're going to do what we call plank in and outs, all right? I told you guys you were going to be doing these planks in episode 1. They're going to become your favorite exercise throughout these series. So again, we're going to come into that high plank. We're going to give our feet some space to move in and out. And so my core is engaged. Again, you want to have that really nice flat back like you're a table. And what we're going to do with this movement is literally jump our feet in and then out. In, out. As you jump them in and out, what you want to keep sure of is that your core stays engaged. So as I jump back, I'm not letting my back sag. I'm not coming up. I'm going ahead and engaging that core when I jump my feet out. Now as I jump in, again, core is going to be engaged. I'm then going to have my weight in my hands and my toes, and then I'm jumping those feet back out, okay? So what 10 of those looks like at speed. is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. So that's the second movement we're going to go ahead and do. So the third exercise we're going to do is a lateral lunge. The reason why I like this exercise for the pop-up is it's going to help you build that leg strength, and your foot position is going to be similar to that in your pop-up or in your functional stance. So to start, we're going to start with our feet hip distance apart. You're then going to step your left foot over laterally. Okay? As you step that foot laterally, you're going to sit your hips back. Notice how my feet are nice and parallel to each other. This is why I like this movement, because when we're surfing and we're getting into that functional stance, we do want to have our feet either square or pigeon-toed, right? So we're going to go ahead and step that foot over. I'm then going to try to sink into that 90 degrees with my lateral lunge. I'm going to come back out, step my feet back to about hip distance apart, and then swap legs over to the right one. Boom, stepping over, sinking into that lateral lunge. I, again, don't want to have my knee coming over my toes. That's a lot of pressure on that knee. We're going to sit the hip back and try to get that 90 degrees. Coming back together, left leg again, sitting on down. Your weight should be fairly balanced throughout the foot. You want to have your weight in that leg that you're lunging into, right? Good. On that right side, we'll do 2 more. 1, 2. Good. So that movement's going to help you build that leg strength and get that mobility with that pop-up. The fourth exercise that we are going to go ahead and learn today is what I would call a squat hold. Why is a squat hold good to go ahead and practice? Well, the reason is we're going to be popping up in a compressed position, right? We want to have that potential energy that we can use to explode up and perform that first extension. So if you have a wall, you can go ahead and do the same position on the wall. What the wall is going to allow you to do is really get your back nice and flat. Whenever we're squatting down, if you don't have that flexibility, the hips tend to hinge your chest forward. So as you go ahead and use a wall, you can straighten that back out and really get that hold in your legs. So this is going to be the first movement that you can do. As you get more and more comfortable with holding this squat, we can then start to add more movements to it. But again, similar to the squat that we do where we're coming up, we are going to keep our feet nice and hip distance apart. Knees are going to stay out. We're going to have that 90-degree angle with our knees. You're sending your hips back. You're trying to keep your chest nice and upright and straight. And you're just going to hold this position for hopefully about 40 seconds if you can. If not, then 30 seconds is really, really good. Or doing 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. Okay. So for our fifth exercise, what we're going to work on is bringing those arms into play a little bit more. We've done a lot of core. We've done a couple of leg movements. We're going to now do push-ups straight from the floor. So when we're paddling into a wave, our bellies are on the board. So as we're going ahead and doing this exercise, what I want you to think about is your stomach's going to be on the ground. We're going to then press our body weight up, nice and slow and controlled, and then it's going to be a slow release back to the ground, lifting the hands. What does that look like? Okay. So a nice and slow press up from that ground, and then you're going to do a slow count back down to the floor as we're doing this exercise. And why this is good is because throughout this entire press up, you are going to be able to dictate where the weight is in your body. as we're doing this push-up, we do not want to send our weight back. We don't want to be doing this because similarly, when we pop up on the surfboard, if our weight goes back, we're going to slow ourselves down. What I want you to think about is continuing to change the weight distribution from your chest to your hands. So again, we're coming down to the ground, pushing straight up, and then coming back down nice and slow. If you can start off with doing 1 or 2 of these and build up to 10, that's going to be really, really good for your pop-up, for your body awareness, and for just being in control of where your body weight is on that surfboard. So guys, thanks for tuning in to episode 2 of these exercises. I hope that you can start to add these into your exercise routines and start to see some results in your strength for your pop-up. Have a great day.